All right. This is the first podcast in I to be honest, I don't know. I forgot to check. But it's the first one that has been 2 straight weeks in God knows how long. Um, but welcome to Safe Golf Podcast. We did one last week to kind of reintroduce ourselves, even though we shouldn't have to at this point. But we took such a break that it kind of feels like I'm a whole new person. Um, Once again, I'm not joined by my favorite co-host. I don't know where Derek is. I like to think he's like on a beach somewhere drinking like a real fruity drink. And then I remember that I'm the fruity drink guy and Derek's the IPA guy. So he's definitely somewhere like licking like sawdust or something and saying it's beer. But we do have me, and we're joined by Ryan with Married to the Game. If you've never heard of Ryan, newer account, doing some really cool things that we'll talk about. So hopefully you listen, you dig it, and then you click the follow button for him. Um, but we have a fun little podcast. We are kind of talking for a little bit before. I've got some fun things kind of planned that's a little bit different, but it still kind of falls within the realm of what we've been doing with the podcast. Um, I know it's a little different without Derek, but yeah, he gave me permission. We don't hate each other. It's not a breakup. I know he has not posted on his account since August. I know he's still here. He's not dead. It's just been a little nutty. Hopefully he comes back within the next couple weeks and that feels more normal for everybody. Um, Ryan, thank you for joining me. I know it's always cool when people reach out and they're like, "Hey, I've been listening. I am a fan, and I started my own account." And it's one of those things that I'm like, I know I didn't have any play in that, but it makes me feel good knowing that people are like, "Damn, if you're having these accounts on, I can do that too." I don't know if that's plays any part in it, but I love seeing people start their own businesses and kind of not necessarily like follow a dream, but follow like a passion in some
Mhm.
cases. Um, but welcome. And I'm excited to learn about Married to the Game. So if you want to take it away and talk about kind of how it started and stuff like that, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And definitely a fan of what you guys are doing. You've had some pretty big, brands on there and just sort of highlighting the smaller brands. So, when I reached out to you guys, definitely a fan of the show and didn't expect you to reply and have me on. So definitely happy to be here. But
I will say not
yeah,
to interrupt you. You reached out
yeah.
at like the perfect time because I was like, I have that itch. And Derek and I talked about it. And he goes, dude, if you have that itch, you gotta scratch that itch, dude. And it was like
Yeah.
right when I was like, I gotta start reaching out to these accounts and seeing who's interested and stuff like that. And then you messaged me. And for those who are listening who don't know, I do all the podcasts, scheduling and everything. So when you message the podcast page, you're getting me, which either means you're going to get a voice message of me like half asleep with a gummy in my system, or like wide awake me at work where I'm very cognitive. You got very cognitive, Dom, so you're welcome. Um, but when you reached out, I was like, dude, I have been looking for companies and people to reach out to, and you kind of hit the nail on the head. And I'm like, let's do it. And here we are. Because that wasn't too long ago. Obviously, we were supposed to record last night, but stuff happens. So I appreciate that. But uh, I've never had somebody reach out on such perfect timing before.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I know. I feel like the sort of golf community has been pretty welcoming, just reaching out to other small brands and trying to Zoom with people, text people, kind of talk to everybody. So it's been overall like a pretty inviting group. And there's a ton of little golf brands out there and smaller brands and a lot of unique things that are being done. So I feel like your podcast really kind of highlights a lot of those brands, which I think is really cool. And since starting one, I think I've completely changed my algorithm and For You page to be all small golf brands. So I feel like small fish in a big sea, but a lot of cool stuff that's being done out there.
There are so many fun and cool. I don't like calling anybody a little brand because I feel like it's kind of demeaning. But
Hmm.
there are so many fun and little brands that people need to know more about and need to learn from. Um, I feel like a lot of brands that don't have the bandwidth that people like a Malbon or, insert name here, they generally have better like quality control and generally like if there's an issue with the order and like a customer to reach out to you, generally the service is better because you're generally talking to the owner or somebody directly with the owner type thing. Um, and I feel like that's so much better than, oh man, my Malbon shirt ripped. Well, you're gonna get somebody somewhere, hopefully.
Right. Hmm.
Um, and I feel like small accounts are slept on, right? Like when we started this, we wanted obviously, big accounts, but we have such like so many good memories with smaller accounts. Or, sometimes you find that hidden gem where you're like, wow, they are doing really well. And then all of a sudden they blow up. And
Hmm.
it's so great to see, new comments and stuff like that for those people. The one that came to my brain right away is actually a local Minnesota brand, Hinatori Golf.
Yeah, I was going to
Um,
mention them.
so he it's like 45 minutes from me, roughly,
Hmm.
in Minnesota. Um, Obviously he had to rebrand because of he got hit with like cease and desist stuff, and I was
Yeah,
like, damn,
that's
it took
tough.
him that long to figure it out. Like it was kind of those things where I'm like, yeah, you kind of asked for it, but landed on his feet. He's doing
Yeah.
great now. I mean, he's launching a new collection, and I've seen the new stuff coming out for like the Masters already that I will not talk about out of respect for him because it is so cool.
Hmm.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's all these little accounts that have, this big creative itch and urge and all these little things that I feel like a lot of big golf right now doesn't have. It's all the same. It's all generic. It's all stuff like that. Um, I don't know if you watch this, but we're very off track at this point. But I want to talk about it because this hit my feed and I was like, shut up. So the Waste Management Open just happened not too long ago.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm good friends with the guys at Four Bros who are in Arizona, stuff like that. This didn't come from them, but whenever I talk
Yeah.
about Arizona, I got to talk about Four Bros. Um, Bad Birdie had this hockey jersey for sale at the
I
pro
saw
shop,
that.
and I'm a sucker for hockey jerseys. I live in the state of hockey. I don't play hockey, but I feel like it's in my blood. So whenever there's a cool hockey jersey, I'm like, that's sick. And the issue with this hockey jersey is there's no patches, nothing was sewn on. It was all sublimation, which is fine. It's
Hmm.
fine. Like if that was like a $50, $60 jersey, I'd be like, okay, very cool.
Yeah. Except it
The
was like,
issue is it was a $260 hockey jersey in Arizona.
yeah.
And I don't know if it was true or not, but I guess on the last day, like they do like a big blowout, which makes sense because obviously the PGA doesn't have those stuff laying around.
Hmm.
And people were buying it for like $60. And
Wow.
like, listen, I went to Disneyland with Ralph and I bought a Mickey Mouse hockey jersey. I'm staring at the thing. It's gorgeous. Sewn on, patched up, thick jersey, and it was like $80 at Disneyland, the place where they should be taxing people,
Yes. Well,
not not the Waste Management Open. So
yeah.
it makes you kind of wonder. It's like their margins are like non-existent because
Hmm.
that jersey's like $4 or $5 for them to make in bulk,
Sure. Yeah.
and they're charging that much. So I don't know. That's why I love small brands. It's because the quality's there. And we'll talk about your stuff because it's not super expensive, but like you can look at the pictures and you can see like the grain in like the head covers and like they
Hmm.
look very high quality. So we'll talk about that. But that's something that grinds my gears, and that's what I think small companies do really, really well, and that's why I love highlighting them. And I think it's so much fun to sit here and talk to like owners of these companies and stuff like that. I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, yeah, no, and it's definitely inspiring to see like the other small brands like you've had on that have kind of sort of blown up since since that and have grown their following and stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think like with the smaller brands, you don't really have the red tape that the big brands do, so you can kind of be more free and creative in the stuff that you're making. But yeah, the sort of personable piece of that is yeah, if you're sending an email, it's going directly to me or I'm packing the orders and doing all this stuff. So I think that it is a one man band. So you do kind of have that personability that you don't have with sort of the bigger stores. And for quality control too, like I have a pretty high standard, and I'll talk about a story with that too. But I have a pretty high standard for the products that we offer, and if it's not good enough for me, then I have to take accountability, and that's not something that I'd want to sell or give to a customer, especially with like a small brand. You don't really have that sort of name value that a large brand does. So if I give you a product that's a married to the game product and you get it and it's just so, then you'll probably, never buy from me again. So, you almost have to over deliver and like undersell the item so that when you get it, you really love the item. It's better than what you thought, and the quality is much higher. So you really don't have, any other room for error with a small brand like that.
It's a pro and a con, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody would love to have the budget of Bad Birdie, of a Melbot. You know what I mean? Like that budget must be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like when you have that kind of budget, that's when people go, "Oh, I could skim here, or I could skim there," and a lot of it is quality control things. Like we were talking before, I work for Brooks, and Brooks has one of the most rigorous quality controls I've ever seen. Um, I got an email today, and they're like, "Hey, three of these shoes came with stains." And I'm like, okay, first of all, we're gonna fix it. So I sent them three new pairs, and I was like, hey, we kind of want to figure out why this is happening. So instead of just being like, hey, throw them away, I sent them a label that Brooks paid for. They're gonna ship them to our quality control, and we're gonna figure out why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know many big companies that are like, well, let's get to the bottom of this. Most companies be like, throw them away. We'll worry about it later. And that's where successful companies, big, small, medium, whatever, are like, hey, I messed up. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's figure it out. But again, small companies, man, they're the first people to be like, hey, I screwed up. That's a reflection of me. I own that. Let's make it right. I haven't been in too many instances where I had bought something and I'm like, oh, this isn't good from a small company. It's always like, wow, I'm blown away. Like the Hinatori stuff, like his glove, phenomenal. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
so pumped to wear it. I'm pumped to wear Tyler's glove
Mm-hmm.
from last week with I'm blanking. I've had a long day. I
Links.
apologize, Tyler, but I'm excited to wear the cap soft.
Yeah.
Um, that glove blew me away. Hinatori's hats are phenomenal. One of the best hats I've ever seen. I wear a Blue Jay hat all the time. I'm at a Twins game and I have a Blue Jays hat on, and it's not even baseball related because he's on golf clubs. Like, don't yell at me. But stuff like that, I find myself wearing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always constantly blown away by small companies. So that always makes me a little mad when people are like, "Oh, they only have so and so followers and stuff like that," and um, that makes me mad because a lot of people have shut the door on Derek and I because the podcast only has so many, where Safe Par has so many more.
Mm-hmm.
But we want this to grow organically versus piggyback off of Safe Par, which would be easy, but it's a whole different ball game. Derek spent God knows how many years building that thing, and that's his baby. But I do want to talk about Married to the Game. I want to know the history, when you started it.
Yeah.
Um, I have the website pulled up. I had my third screen on,
Uh-huh.
and it made me look like a ghost, which I didn't appreciate. Um, but I have it pulled up on my tablet. That way I can still look at everything and I don't look like a ghost. So, obviously we'll talk about it, but I do want to touch on the fact that whenever I see a corduroy hat,
Mm-hmm.
I geek out. That thing,
Yeah.
gorgeous with the cream and the green, beautiful. Um, but you have the hat, two putter covers, and I like that you have the mallet and the blade because some
Mm-hmm.
of us, well, I shouldn't say that. I have a
I'm a mallet guy.
yeah, so I'm a blade guy. If
Okay.
it's a weird shape, it freaks me out. I'm one of those people. All my
Gotcha.
putters are relatively the same shape. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, "Hey, we'll send you a putter, and then I'll try something different." Um, but you've got the two putter covers, the hat,
Mhm.
the glove, which is currently sold out.
Uh,
Congrats.
we'll get to that. Well, I marked it as sold out, but yeah,
Oh, not
there's a story.
congrats. And then you have the ball marker, which is
And
an
the ball
instant
marker.
classic. But if
Mhm.
you want to walk me through, when you started it, why you started it, did you feel like a call or like a need started like a gap in the market or anything?
Yeah. It kind of started when I was looking for groomsmen's gifts to give my friends and ask them, and I couldn't really find anything that was, personable and unique outside of just like the ball, like the golf balls that say like groom or groomsman on it. So I didn't really see any golf related gifts, which kind of inspired me to create the groomsmen head covers. And like the first ones I made were very like DIY, and these were the ones I ended up giving them, which were just blanks off of Amazon and kind of glued on buttons and a bow tie.
That's really
But
fun.
yeah, and it was, and seeing their reaction from those kind of gave me the idea and sparked the idea to get them produced with a manufacturer. So, that little simple idea, we wanted something that matched the suits that we were going to wear for the day, but also was something fun and practical that they could use long after the wedding. And that was really sort of the foundation of the first product to launch that. And then, a lot of my groomsmen didn't even have putter head covers or anything. So seeing them use those and get use out of that was, kind of spark something.
It's like it's a fun feeling, right? Being like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I made it and they're using it. I do a lot of photography on the side. I do portraits and stuff. So whenever somebody that I shoot with or for whatever, whenever they like set a picture I took as like their profile picture, I'm like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's fun. Um, and kudos to you. That's super fun to take that into your own hands. I was the best man at my buddy's wedding, and he gave me a case of beer.
Yeah.
That was that, and like that was it. And then he's like, I should probably do more. So then I got like a Yeti koozie with like my name on it and like a
Hmm.
loon. Um, but that's super fun. One is super thoughtful because you took the time, you DIY'd it, yeah, whatever. But excuse me, it's fun, it's thoughtful, and I like that it is kind of like, hey, this would be a fun groomsman gift, type thing.
Hmm.
Um, when did you get the idea to start it as a brand versus just like a one-off type thing?
Yeah. So, worked with the manufacturer to produce those and have been selling those for about 3 years or so, the head covers. And then, after I got married, I started golfing with my wedding ring, and I wasn't used to wearing a ring when I golfed. So, or wearing a ring in general. And I felt like it really got in the way of like my grip and feel. And then also my ring was my dad's ring, so it was super sentimental and not something
Mm,
that I wanted to accidentally lose or like take my glove off around the green and potentially lose it. So I'd switch to a silicone band, but those are even bulkier and thicker than my real ring was. So then it kind of gave me the idea, why isn't this just built into the glove itself? And then kind of Googled and looked and didn't see any wedding ring golf gloves that existed out there. And then was kind of talking it over with, one of my friends. And he's like, oh, that's a good idea. You should kind of pursue it. So, with those two ideas, it really was the foundation of the brand. I'm like, okay, I have these head covers that I've been selling, and then I have this idea for a golf glove. Why not kind of put the two together? And kind of Married to the Game was born since then.
so does the glove have a spot for the
So the
what?
glove is it's basically, I'm trying to get this to focus, but it's basically printed on there. So it has,
Oh, so you
so
could
you can
take it
wear it
out.
in place of your wedding ring instead of just wearing your ring, because your ring kind of like sticks out through the glove. So you can take it off, but it kind of a clean design just with like a ring printed on it. Um,
Got it.
yeah.
Because I mean, as we talked about before, I don't, you know, I have not been husband up, I guess. Um, I didn't think about it because I guess when I watch Derek play, he plays, I think with a ring.
Hmm.
I don't know. I should start paying attention more, I guess, instead of drinking and playing music on the golf course. Like, okay. Because when you were saying that, I was like, did you figure out how to wear like a ring with a glove to where it's not bulky? That's smart. And it's one of those things that's like it makes sense,
Hmm.
right? It goes along with the brand, and there's a lot of married guys that don't like to take their rings off, and I'm sure you're not the only one who, has like a family ring that you don't want to lose, and
Hmm.
it's sentimental value, and obviously you're still taking it off, but then you kind of look down at the glove and you're like, it's still kind, you know what I mean? Like it's there in
Yeah.
spirit.
You have like the representation of the ring at least. So yeah, I thought it was a kind of a fun idea, and it doesn't really like impact anything. It's just really kind of printed on the glove. So the whole idea is to not have it interfere, because I know a lot of my friends either just take it off completely or they swap to a silicone one or just play without it. So it kind of gave me the idea to build it in to the ring itself.
Genius. I I didn't notice that, to be totally honest with you. But I'm also not somebody who, I don't have to worry about that. Like the most annoying thing I wear when I golf is generally my watch.
Yeah, me too. Apple Watch.
And like that's like my most annoying thing I wear when I golf. So I've
Mhm.
never even worried about like a ring or anything. And I guess I didn't know the silicone ones were more bulky. I thought they were meant to be more slim for working out and stuff, but I guess not.
Yeah, yeah. So that really kind of gave me the idea for the brand. And then the first product, obviously, being like the bow tie head covers, was sort of the inspiration for the logo as well. So our logo is a bow tie with two golf clubs kind of crossing through it. So, I worked with the graphic designer to kind of bring that idea to life, but I was really just looking for something because I think when you think of a wedding, you think of bow ties, getting dressed up,
Hmm.
but wanted it to have that golf element in there as well. And a few iterations, but really kind of landed on that logo.
It's a good logo, I will say. Like I am very biased. I love ours. I love our new one. Shout out to Four Bros. Trev made
Mhm.
it for us, and he and I talked about it when I was driving, which is probably not the best time to talk about a logo. Is when I'm driving.
Very visual thing.
It very much is, and I was just sending voice messages and we were figuring it out. But um, I love a good logo. I am very biased. I get to look at ours and I get to see Derek and I in front of a golf course that apparently Trev pulled from Minnesota somewhere. I don't know which golf course it is, and neither does he. So I like to think it's like a very famous one, but we only have like two or three famous ones. So
Gotcha.
anytime it's like subtly golf, I'm always like a fan because to me that means, I mean, obviously you don't make anything that's like super lifestyle yet,
Hmm.
but it's kind of fun where you're like, oh, that's a golf brand. All right, oh, I never would have known that. Um, but okay, so you figured out the ring,
Hmm.
and then you figured out the head covers. Do you have anything else in mind? Like, do you have anything burning in you that you're like, I can fix this?
Yeah, so I think from that perspective, I want it to be a brand that does have that wedding themed golf gifts there. So you can kind of be a one-stop shop. So if you're like a bride looking for a gift for a groom, or your groom looking for a gift for, your groomsmen, you can go to the Married to the Game site and kind of find all those products, but also to be a brand that's just bigger than just people that are married golfers, which is kind of why I have the shortened version, which is just M2TG, which kind of, plays to other people that are not married, maybe living the bachelor life, but are, married to the game of golf and know how, addicting the hobby can be, and how much it kind of soaks you in and brings you in, and how, difficult it is to get a little bit better, whether you're, grinding at the driving range or trying to do one little thing just to get, 1% better. How much the game is really kind of addictive and soaks you in.
But one of my buddies, he's played 9 holes with me once, and it's his first time ever playing golf. And this was years ago, but like every once in a while, he's like, "Hey, like he kind of got that bug,
Hmm.
you know."
Yeah, the bug.
He hit probably one of the best shots I've ever seen a first timer hit, and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, there's no way he hit. I think it was a 5 wood, like 3 feet to the hole on like it was like a longer par three. So like yeah, the 5 wood was definitely the play. And I don't know the distance, so don't nobody ask. But it was like 3 feet, and we watched that thing, and I'm like, what the hell? And he's now married, has well, his kid just turned one not too
Hmm.
long ago. And it's one of those things where it's like kind of want to get him into golf, but I don't think his wife would be super appreciative if I got him into golf. So your brand might be a good way to be like, hey, we can still say he's married, but when he's with me, he's married to the game. That's how I've always thought about it.
Hmm.
Because yeah, I'm not married. I very much live in that bachelor lifestyle, as you mentioned. Um, Derek is married. He's very married, as I like to put it. Um, it's not a bad thing, but he is incredibly married, and his wife's great. I love her to pieces. I don't know if she listens, so I guess I could trash her if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to because I have nothing bad to say about her. But I like the idea of being a one-stop shop
Hmm.
because I've seen more and more grooms get their groomsmen golf gifts,
Yep.
and sometimes they're a little cheesy, because I'm sure you've seen the ones where they're not great. Yeah, to me, it's the thought that matters. I mean, I was given a case of beer, and I was never asked if I wanted to be the best man. I was told I was the best man, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
great. What do I do? And then, you know, we kind of fumbled through everything else, and then they got married, and boom, whatever. Now they have two kids. I did my job. They said, "Do you have the rings?" And I said, "I do." And I handed the rings over. Um, but if you could add like one thing that isn't, super marriage based, I guess I don't quite know how to word it. Is there something that you would be like, "Hey, I'd love to add this, but it doesn't quite fit the branding"?
So I think if I could sum up the brand, it would be like timeless, clean, and classic, and that's really what I'm trying to do. So right now, I'm developing like polos and stuff too, and that's not really going to be married themed. There are going to be like really heavily married stuff, like you said, kind of gifts that aren't throwaway gifts or like super chuggy or cheesy,
Mm,
and like you get and you always get like kind of like the same stuff. Like I've been a groomsman before and gotten a text message, and that was my thing. But I think you've kind of seen like an increase in people, getting into it as well from the groom's perspective and trying to get something that's a little bit more unique, put more thought into it, and give gifts. So I think like for us, I do want to be that one-stop shop for those gifts and for them to be versatile gifts and quality gifts and not something that is like throwaway, something that they'd get more use out of. But in terms of like a brand, like the corduroy hats, as you mentioned, like I feel like that's a classic hat because I didn't see anything out there. I have, I don't know, 75 golf hats that I can wear on the golf course, but I don't have like a golf hat that I could wear in like a more casual setting. So that is why, I kind of launched with the corduroy hat and something that's a little bit more casual that is golf themed, but also something that, I could wear out to like a bar or somebody's party or something like that, which is a little bit more like dressy. So just trying to kind of fit that niche and find products that I don't really see out there and try to create them myself. So starting a golf brand is a bit of a undertaking, but really it all stemmed from things that I didn't see in the market and that, as a golfer, as a married person or whatever, or somebody who just wants something stylistically that wasn't out there, that's kind of what I'm trying to create.
I appreciate that you said I want to make polos, but don't want to make them wedding themed
Mm-hmm.
because here's what I envisioned. I'm by no means a designer, and by no means is anybody paying me to design anything, which they should never do. I pictured a white polo, goes along with everything else, with like black suspenders somehow built in, and then like a black bow tie like sublimated on. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that you're not going that route.
Definitely
I
not.
think this is why nobody pays me to do any design work because I don't even know where I'd start. That would be my big idea. Um, but over my shoulder, the Twins, the Minnesota Twins, the baseball team.
Mhm.
Some people don't follow baseball, so I feel bad having to like explain who the Twins are. I
I
fucking hate
gotcha.
them right now because they suck, and it's gonna get worse. It makes me sad. Anyways, that's a corduroy Twins hat, and they came out with them when they did their City Connect stuff, and
Hmm.
um, I was like, one, it's sick. Like, how many corduroy hats are there? And then I wore it, and I'm like, this is hot. Like it. I didn't help that I wore it on like a 90 and like humid day. Just where
Hmm.
any hat is hot, but the corduroy really like trapped in that heat. But that thing casually, I love it. So
Hmm.
whenever I see a corduroy hat, it's great. I have a 3M open one that the branding is so stupid that I had to get it. Normally with the 3M open stuff, the thing is the compass and it points north, North Star, or, Minnesota. It's just three M's. Like it's MMM.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, what is this? And then they're like, it's free. And I'm like, I need it. So I had to go find it. Um, but it's corduroy and I love it. So
Hmm.
in terms of like a lifestyle brand, you kind of hit the nail on the head with that one. And the colors are great. I love kind
Hmm.
of the cream and green. It does a good job. Like they work well together, but they also pop off each other in a
Yeah.
way that makes sense. Um, I don't know if you have other colors planned for that, but like a blue one, like cream and blue is always a classic.
Yeah, yeah. And I think of like sort of like the wedding, like a suit's never gone out of style. Black and white has never gone out of style. Like these
Hmm.
colors, like I think there's a lot of brands that do like the loud polos with prints and stuff, and a ton of bright colors and designs in your face. And I have a bunch of those polos, but I'm really trying to create things that are sort of classic, like ivory, hunter green, like a dark
Hmm.
blue, like these sort of tried and true colors that kind of stand the test of time. So you could either wear this on a course to a nice course or at a public course, or wear it out to dinner or like after the round. So kind of trying to create stuff that can be on and off the course, but really sort of just like a timeless classic design.
It's funny you say that because there's a handful of polos in there. Obviously, I'm pointing off camera. That's my closet
Yeah.
that are really loud and fun. And I always
Mhm.
find myself wearing like the solid color polos from like Kingsman Golf.
Yeah.
I love Don. I love Don's work. I love Don's book,
Hmm.
and I keep trying to like sit down and read it, but my brain doesn't allow me to sit down and read it.
ADHD.
So I'm sorry, Don. I'll get around to it. He took the time and he signed it for Derek and I, and we each got. I'm like, I love Don to pieces, but I keep going and I wear like I have a solid like purple one, and I love. I have a solid just green one, and
Hmm.
it's not. I find myself wearing those solid colors because I feel. I mean, like I said, it's timeless.
Yeah.
But I could also wear any shoe with it, any pair of pants, any hat, and it like feels like it fits pretty seamlessly. I mean, I think his best seller is called the Jet, and it's jet black.
Hmm.
Like that, there's not much more timeless than that. Although I've been wondering, did you get married in a white suit?
Was I?
Yeah,
It was like ivory cream color.
hell yeah. Okay, so that's why everything's white with the black.
Yeah, because I thought about kind of keeping the entire brand just white and black, but I think that
Yeah,
would be a little maybe mimey or a little too bland. So
yeah.
I do just want to kind of do like those classic like ivory, dark green, black, white, but things that would kind of like I said stand the test of time and are really sort of the classic polos. Because yeah, like you said, I have a bunch of those loud polos, but they kind of sit in the closet and aren't really my go-to, especially like if I'm going, wearing a polo to work or, wearing it to a nicer course. So I think, I want to build that stuff. Even like I have one here. So this is just like a sample, but kind of just like the French collar too,
Oh, it's
where I feel
nice.
like subtle details where like there's not a lot going on with the polo, but it still has a lot of thought, is well curated and has sort of that classic look to it. So I feel like the collar is one thing that the way that lays makes the polo just kind of look a little bit more like
I've
elevated than
never seen a collar like that.
yeah, like the French collar. So, and then even like growing up, I remember as a kid, I always hated the tags in the back of your shirts. So
Hmm.
I was always swore if I started a clothing brand, I would never have a tag in there. So I would, make sure that that's always like heat pressed because other than size, there's no need for you to have like a tag in there. And then all the logos on everything, make sure that that's all like embroidered so
Hmm.
that lasts a long time. But just kind of things that like I've noticed or things that I've either found from like really high quality polos that I like and use, and just other things that I've noticed in other brands that I would change.
Yeah, that collar, I've never seen anything like that before. That is, it like it looks unique enough to where somebody would be like, "What? How? Like, what is that?" I like it. I think it looks really
Mhm.
clean. Um, Don had the same idea, but his collar like doesn't lay flat. It kind of goes up a little bit. It's like a mock neck, but it has
Yeah,
buttons, but they're like hidden. I don't know if you're familiar with Kingsman Golf, but
yeah, I
it
have looked at his stuff. It's really good.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so his stuff, it like the quality, like the pictures, I say this every time. The
Hmm.
pictures do not do it justice. I have, good Lord, I definitely have a quarter zip, and then I think I have like four polos and his jacket.
Hmm.
And I'm blown away by everything. I have his like shirts, like he came out like athletic like t-shirts, blown away. So I'm a little spoiled when it comes to that, but that collar on your shirt is
Mhm.
ridiculous. Like that is so cool.
Yeah.
And I know
And
not
then
everybody watches these, but that should be one that this should be one you watch.
yeah, and even like just trying to do unique stuff. So like and a lot of the polos have been, I'd say, someone with ADHD, you kind of want everything sort of fast and quick. But the manufacturing process is anything but that, and it's kind of for good reason. But to develop a polo is I'm hoping to launch our first polos by May. But I think, for me, it's easy to get excited about stuff and you want to roll it out and rush something to the market. You see it and you have like a drawing and then have it kind of come to life. And then you get excited about it, which was really the first version of our gloves, which I kind of I don't want to say got bullied, but almost got pressed into doing a bulk order when I knew they weren't really ready to hit the market. And I ended up buying 100 gloves that I'll never sell because the quality isn't what I wanted it to be. So that was kind of a tough lesson learned. But what I said earlier, which is like the first interaction with the brand is so important that it's better for me to sit on gloves that I know aren't 100% than to sell them and rush something to the market. Because if you get a glove and it's not exactly what you like, or you get a product, then you'd probably never buy from us again. So I think having that accountability and transparency as a brand is huge with a smaller brand, and really just trying to build that relationship and continually come back to us because see our quality and the thought that we put into our products.
So this is a really cool callback to last week's episode. Don't know if you've listened,
Mm-hmm.
but Tyler did one of the same things where he's like, and he did it to me, and I was like, what the fuck is this? If you order a glove, I don't know if he's still doing it, but when it came to me, um, he sent me one of his like prototype samples, and he's like, this is where we started. Don't judge us where we started. Judge us where we are now. So I would say if you're gonna sit on 100 gloves and you don't want to sit on them, you can
Mm-hmm.
always be like, hey, this is where we started. This is where we are now. You don't have to copy Tyler, right? I mean, other companies have done that, but if you don't want to sit on 100 of them, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of people like I gave the glove away to my friend who is newer to golf, but she has that itch, she loves it. And I was like, hey, this is your size. I know you kind of burn through gear right now. Take this glove. And she was pumped to have a new golf glove.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's something you could do. And um, it's a great way to kind of spread your company too in a way that is very organic and not forced upon by anybody. But is
Yeah.
also like, hey, like you don't judge us on this, judge us on this. And that's essentially what Tyler did, and I was kind of like floored how it went from sample one to the final product. But I mean, you're absolutely right. I could never design anything and then bring it to market because I'd be like, I need this thing like yesterday. And I
Yeah.
definitely jump in feet first, and then I'd be like, well, shit, now I've got 700 t-shirts that I hate.
hmm Yeah, I would say it is exciting because especially with like the glove, like the head covers, I designed so I kind of knew what they looked like in the real world because the first versions of them I made it myself. So then it was really just communicating that across with the manufacturer to make those. So that really only took like one or two like iterations to get those right. But like with the gloves, I was working with the manufacturer and kept ordering sample after sample because like in my heart, I knew they weren't correct. But then that manufacturer ended up being a little bit more like pushy. We're like, oh, you have to do your bulk order. You have to do your bulk order. And being new to the game, I kind of caved to the pressure and ended up doing that. And it led to loads and loads of trouble. But yeah, I did talk to Tyler, I think a couple months ago, and he had mentioned that I think he bought, which made me feel so much better. I think he said he bought like 1,000 or 3,000 gloves that he ended up like he said, gave away with people just to kind of let them know like this is where we were and this is where we're going. So don't plan on throwing them out or anything, but I definitely given them out to a few friends and some influencers just to kind of get feedback on and let them know that this is the first version. So really kind of sending those out with the caveat. But that's why I kind of marked them out as sold out on the website because I don't want people to buy the first version of the glove. And, I think it's so important to, really wait to launch a product. And, that's kind of where I'm at with the polos. So it's why we don't have any polos available yet. Because it is a lengthy process to develop those, but just really trying to focus on building, like quality products and brands before I release them.
Yeah, and it's super important to be transparent with, the people that might buy or might not buy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One, it's like it, I don't know if you're like me, but if I can't sleep at night if it's super like inauthentic of me to like say something, or like I couldn't work somewhere that like made me feel sleazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stores that sell credit cards and stuff, I would feel bad. You know, my first job was like that. I worked at a company, and uh, obviously when it comes to like big box stores, a lot of their money was in their credit cards, and I was never good at it, and like they would get on me about it, but it's like I don't like it, and
Yeah.
um, I think if I brought something to market, one, I have to like it, and it's
Mhm.
something that if I won't wear it, I don't want to sell it.
Yes, yeah, and it's like for me, it has to beat the current product that I was using. So I always played with like I don't know if it's the Apex, but these Callaway gloves, like these
Mhm.
were my favorite gloves to play with. And then like the first versions of our gloves just weren't that good versus, the version I have now. But for me, like I think the first pieces that it has to be better than the product that I'm currently using. So I don't want to just develop a brand for the sake of developing a brand. Like the product has to be better than the product that I was previously using. And then, ultimately for me to put my name behind it, to put Married to the Game on it, to sell it to my friends, family, and, ultimately strangers. If I'm not comfortable and 100% like into the product, then I don't think that that's a good way to run a business. And ultimately, like, if I didn't want to play with it, why would I want to sell it to somebody else? So I
Mhm.
think it's really important to, build in the features like the ring. This one has like a magnetic ball marker in it, like a full size ball marker, which I always thought was cool.
I
And
noticed
it's,
that.
yeah, like really soft, durable, has like subtle branding on there. So really just developing a product that, like 100% believe in. And like I said, kind of, over deliver when you get the products and you're really excited to have it.
And that's why I love small companies. Even like some medium-sized companies like the guys from Palm. I love
Mhm.
those dudes. Dustin and Joe and everybody from Palm Golf Co. are great. They have the same kind of mentality, but I wouldn't say they're a small company anymore.
No, I would
Um
certainly say not.
I love those guys, and they have the same type of thought, and um I'm that same way. If you know behind the scenes with the podcast, we did like 3 or 4 episodes that'll never see the light of day because we listened to them and we're like, we could do it better.
Hmm.
And it took us a while to fine tune it. Like we had originally started recording in like January of like 21. And we didn't release the first episode until March because we didn't hit the nail on the head until March. And obviously not making money off these. I don't know if people know that, but we don't make any money off this, thankfully, because now it's what keeps it fun. But um, keep a note. I have like a magnetic board right above my desk, and it's full of like pictures of me and my friends and stuff like that. And, like notes companies have like written me.
Hmm.
It's like I've got John from Buena Gente. I love Buena Gente. I love John. John could power his city off his charisma. It's fucking ridiculous. Right next to John is the donut. I feel like John likes donuts. I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
Okay.
Right underneath it, I have Maddie from Paré, who, if you've never spoken to Maddie with Paré, if you need to pick anybody's brain on making like lifestyle golf apparel,
Hmm.
Maddie is your dude,
Okay.
and he's phenomenal resource. But right underneath it, it's from Santos Perez. He's an artist that we had on. He paints. He painted those right there. It's me and Derek. It's actually a two-piece portrait, so like you could split them apart,
That's
and then
cool.
Derek and I could have one. But I kind of wanted to keep both there for a future studio.
Hmm.
Um, but I love them so much that they're right next to all my stuff on my wall. But I have this note because it means so much to me, and I don't think I've ever told him this. So I also don't know if he listens very often. He and I talk a lot of shit because he's a Bears fan, and I'm clearly a 49ers fan. So we beat the shit out of him. even though we really didn't beat the shit out of them. It was a good game though. Um, but it says Dom, thank you for asking me to do this. I have great support from family, but when it comes from a stranger, it hits different. My friends will support me till the day I die. My family will support me till the day I die. But when a stranger says, "Hey, I love what you're doing," when you said, "Hey, I love what you guys are doing," that means more to me than my best friend telling me that I'm doing great, or my
Hmm.
mom being like, "Hey, I'm really proud of you." That note has not left my sight since he wrote it. And it's one of the most important things and my favorite thing that anybody's ever given me in terms of the podcast. So I say all that because you you have the right mindset. And it's going to come down to exactly what everybody's afraid of is the strangers,
Hmm.
right? It's, I'm sure your wife supports it. I'm sure your parents and your friends support it. But when a stranger buys something and then they repurchase it because they liked it so much down the line, like
Hmm.
that's one of those feelings that is crazy. And it's one of those things that's like indescribable. So that has never left my sight. I might message Santos later today or tomorrow. He's in Cali, so it's like 2 hours difference. So it's probably not too late, but that has not left my sight. And it is right there, right next to my Debo Samuel picture because Debo is a god. Um, but that has not left my sight. And whenever I read it and I'm having a hard time, it really makes my day. So, um, small companies have a whole lot of power, and I hope you know that because you have the keys that the big companies don't have, which is being personable. So,
Hmm.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I wanted to share that with you. And I've never talked about it before. I love that note, and it means the world to me. And then I get to look at my beautiful face every day right next to Derek's beautiful face. So, um, yeah, keep it up, man. It's tough. Golf right now is super saturated, but how many of these
Yeah.
companies have staying power is my question.
Hmm.
I don't think there are too many of these small companies that have staying power. I don't think there's too many of these big companies that have staying power. I think it's going to come down to the genuine companies of genuine people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's, a lot that goes into it. So, just trying to kind of put, everything into it and make it as good as I can.
I could never do it. So kudos to you. I'll sit here and talk all day and have the time of my life. But when it comes to bringing a product to market, I could never do it. So hats off to you. Hats off to everybody that does it, big or small. Um, yeah, I if you need help, you talk to Tyler. Tyler's a great resource. He's been great. Maddie with Pare, just tell me you talk to me. Maddie's great.
Hmm.
Nothing but good things to say about Maddie. Pare is one of my favorite companies out there right now, and it's super casual, but Uh, his golf story is phenomenal. I mean, his dad and him playing, his logo is literally him putting. And I made fun of him for a little bit, but he knows it's all love. But um, so we kind of talked about everything now. You said the polos you're trying to push out in May. Is
Hmm.
there anything else coming? Like, do you have t-shirts planned, more corduroy hats? Do you have any like fun bow tie gloves, I guess?
Yeah, so I think after this next round of gloves, I definitely want to do a round of gloves that also don't have a ring on them. So just for like regular, everyday golfers too.
Yeah.
But like even like our packaging is like the back of the
Oh,
glove
fun.
box is supposed to look like a groomsman like suit hanger bag. So like really just a lot of
Oh.
like it's not going to show up on camera, but just
No,
like a
I
lot
see
of
it.
like
I get it.
fun stuff. And there's so much that goes into that. Like that to make this box probably took me, 2 months back and forth with the designer to get to like the final product. So, I don't think that there really is a rush to get things to the market. And I've kind of learned my
Mhm.
lesson with the first round of the gloves and, trying to rush something. So I think my goal is to really, if I only launch one product a year and it's a really high quality, good product, then, so be it. But I don't really think that, I have the ability to kind of take those shortcuts. But right now it's just focusing on, final iterations of the glove, should be able to launch those in a few months as well. Sticking with the head covers and then, yeah, trying to develop our first polos for the spring. So hopefully we have those in time for spring and summer.
Well, if it comes out in May, it'll still be snowing here. So that's perfect timing for spring.
Yeah, yeah. So I know a lot of people, especially like in PA where it's freezing, golf is still on the mind, but you're obviously not getting out there.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about Minnesota right now, we're in fake spring. So like I
Yeah.
can see the ground and I kind of want to be like, oh, I could, but now the courses aren't open. And then the weather for the next week is cold and snowing. So, we're still a ways away, and here anyways. I don't know about the rest of the world. And then there's the freaking weirdos in California and Arizona that play year round and don't appreciate it like we do here. Um, no shots, whatever. It's fine. I'm not mad. A little mad. I'm a little mad. But I kind of want to switch gears because I thought we could pick my fantasy golf lineup because I'm
Yeah.
playing fantasy golf with some of the dudes with the PGA with the 3M Open. So how it works, do my best to show you. We get is that four starters and then two benches. Wow, that is
Okay.
really blown out. And then one of them becomes a captain. So this is one of those leagues where I can only use the same player three times. So as we talked about, I am avoiding Scotty, and that is not because I don't like Scotty. It is mainly because I feel like he's going to be a favorite for the majors. And I feel like I want to save him for the majors. Like he's definitely gonna be my Masters pick because I don't really know who could stop him right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if we're picking for the Genesis.
All right.
Um, so I don't really know what to do. So what I've been doing is I've been picking guys that I know the name, but I know they're not going to win a major. I don't know if that's rude or not, but in my brain, it's making sense. So if I open it right now, odds to win, like I think Cantlay is the favorite.
Yeah, he it looks like it. I was gonna say Tommy Fleetwood could be a good pick.
I we're a fan of Tommy on the pod, so
Yeah.
let's pick Tommy. We do like Tommy Fleetwood. He's one of those guys that I feel like is underappreciated until he wins, and then everyone's like, I fucking love Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
He's
Pretty lovable
quiet,
guy.
and really my whole plan for because I've never done fantasy golf before. I'm a big like fantasy baseball and football guy.
Hmm.
Um, I just don't want to come in last because I think the top three win prizes, and right now I'm in like third place overall, which is perfect. Yeah, so we're going Tommy. I like that pick. Um, how do
Hideki,
you
maybe?
feel? Ooh,
Hideki?
yeah, we do Hideki, Matsuyama. Oh, I've already used him before. Fuck it,
Oh,
let's
you
do it.
have?
Oh, fuck it, let's do it. We're doing it. He's locked in. Um, I was thinking, what about like Jason Day or Tommy or not Tommy, Tony Finau? I'm a big Tony Finau guy. I think
I like Finau.
Tony's Tony's presence is super fun, but I like watching him because he makes golf look fun. Where I feel like not everybody does that on the tour. Like you watch like a Rory, and I historically I'm not a Rory guy.
Hmm.
He's kind of a bitch, which is fine. But he doesn't make golf look fun. Where you watch Tony, Tony looks like he's having the time of his life, and he could be like 15 over.
Yeah.
You know what I
Or
mean?
or Victor, he's always smiling.
Hovland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Victor. So let's pick Tony. So who's a name that I haven't used yet that I'm not familiar with? I like to try to hit like not like a small guy, but like a guy that's not super well known and be like, damn, this might be his come up. Ooh, if Derek was here, he would want me to pick this guy. So we're gonna pick him in honor of Derek, but we're going to Xander.
Okay. Shoffley.
Derek's a big Shoffley guy. Love Xander. Um, we used to do dark horse picks all the time, and we kind of ran out of it just because I shouldn't say I would forget to warn the guest, like, hey, we're gonna do these, so have yours prepped, and I would just forget to do it, so we stopped. But we're going to Xander. So that's the four main, and then we get two benches. So
Okay.
the bench, my thought process is somebody who's not good enough to win, but somebody who's good enough to make the cut in case one of the four guys up front get cut. Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
Max Homa.
There we go. My videographer, his name's Ty, um, loves Max Homa. Shout out Ty. Ty is great. I, Ty is my guy. He's beefing with Roger still right now, which is hilarious because he's Roger's guy too, and they have a little beef going
Oh,
on.
really?
A little bit. It's funny. Ty's a great dude. I love Ty to pieces. Okay, so we have one pick left. So generally, let's try to pick a guy I haven't picked yet. Ooh, we're going on vibes. I'm a big vibes guy. Tom Kim,
Let's do it.
locking it in. Is that all six? So now we have to pick a captain.
Okay.
So how do you feel about Xander being captain?
I like it.
Mainly because I feel like Hideki was good last week, but then I think he hit a ball in the water and it kind of derailed him. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Weren't people were yelling at him, right?
Were they?
I think so. I think well, he did have a meltdown, but I think somebody yelled like during the playoff or something at the waste management. I'm not sure.
That sounds like a waste management thing.
Yeah.
So let's pick Xander's captain. I don't know what captain does. I didn't read the rules. Would have, but it didn't. Very on brand. And we're clicking save. So cool. My team is saved. What? So let's check my rank quick. So in the league, so I'm in third. I'm in third out of 18.
Pretty good.
And I'm right behind the dude in second by like 20 points.
That's not bad.
I want to win. I think
Yeah.
so the way they do it is there's weekly prizes. And I think if you get like third, you get like a Jersey Mike's lunch.
There you go.
I want the free sandwich.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. So we did that. That's my golf talk for the week. My hair is stuck. Um, so we got to wrap it up with the rapid fire stuff. That's everybody's favorite. I don't know if it's everybody's favorite, but it's my favorite. Um, so I feel very rusty doing these. Like last week was just like off the dome. But out of all your clubs in your bag, which one's your favorite?
It might have to be either my 3 hybrid, or my 60 degree.
I don't think anybody said hybrid before.
So I have a like old TaylorMade burner, like rescue. I don't even know when this thing, 2005 maybe, but that is like my go-to club, and I feel so good swinging that. But yeah, I have the Kirkland wedges, and honestly, I think they're great. So if it wasn't my 3 hybrid, it might have to be my 60 degree.
Did anybody figure out who makes the Kirkland clubs?
Isn't it basically like the same factory as like Titleist
I thought it was Callaway,
or Callaway? Maybe. Yeah.
which
So
makes sense. I mean, I don't think Costco, and I love Costco. I don't think Costco would put their name on junk. You know what I mean?
no. Yeah.
Like obviously they're new to golf, but like their ball's pretty solid. I haven't tried out the gloves. I've been very spoiled with gloves. Um, I haven't tried their clubs though either, but everybody says that they're nice for the price, which is usually a good sign.
Yeah, I haven't tried it because they have a full set now, but their wedges are pretty good, I gotta say, especially for like the price. 'Cause I think the price is like 3 for 150 versus you get like a Jaws club for 150. So it's
Yeah,
basically a third of the
I don't
price.
even. I haven't looked at my golf clubs in so long. I don't even know what's in my bag. That bag is like my promo bag, where it's like that whole bag in the corner is all bomb tech.
Oh, that's funny.
I love the bomb tech stuff. Don't get me wrong. Thank you, Willis. But okay. The burners seem like that. I think that's one of those clubs. I don't know when. I mean, they've been around forever,
Hmm.
but that's one of those model years that people come back to and they're like, yeah, they still play.
Yeah.
I've never
So
owned
I
one.
don't think I'd ever get that out of my bag.
Yeah, that's me and my 2 iron. It's not going
Okay.
anywhere. I hit it like shit, but every once in a while, I hit it real well, and I'm like, oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's my putter. I'll never get rid of my putter. I have a Mizuno putter.
Okay, Blade.
I love it. It's blue and it has like the where the logo is. It's like burned, so it's some purple and some lights.
That's pretty cool. Well, they have
Oh,
the
it's
blue wedges too. Those
yeah.
are pretty sweet.
Not a fan.
No? Yeah.
No, I'm weird in the brain. Like we talked about, like if my putter's a weird shape, it like messes with me, and I'm like, "Ah, I can't hit it. If
Gotcha.
wedges are like a certain color, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I fuck, what is in my bag? It's been so long. Oh, they're Titleist. I have Vokies.
The
Duh.
Vokies, yeah. Those are classic.
They're like the oil can color where they're kind of gray.
Yeah, yep.
And in my brain, how I justify it is there's a big enough contrast against the ball to where it's just like fluid.
Hmm.
I used to have white wedges, and I still have them. They're somewhere in that corner. The white messed with my head against the white golf ball.
Yeah, I don't know if White would play.
They're pretty. They were pretty.
But yeah,
Yeah, they're white and baby blue. It's
gotcha. That's pretty
hell of a
cool.
combo. Oh, don't know what I was doing, but it was sweet. Um, we talked about your favorite club. Do you have a favorite golf course, whether it's in your area or just in general that you've played? Not that you want to play, but like that you have personally played?
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a few. I don't have you been to Arizona and played out there?
No, no.
Okay.
We held an event in Arizona, and
Hmm.
I was the only one who didn't go because I
Gotcha.
refused to leave my staff to figure out how inventory works. And boy, I should have gone because they figured it out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a course, Talking Stick. It's called the
Oh,
Peaposh course. I think they have two courses there. That one was really nice. And then I played Quarry Ridge in the coast of Curacao. So it's like ABC, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So for our honeymoon,
dang.
there was a golf course and snuck out and played there right off the coast of the island. So that was pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to look that up because that sounds gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, the views were pretty great. And then locally, so like in the PA area, Wyncote, Broad Run, Honeybrook, those are all pretty good courses around here. So those are kind of like my go-to.
Yeah, you should have led at that one in Curacao. That's
Yeah, it's really cool. It's actually the picture on the website of like where the married on the I think it's on our story. That picture is I took at Curacao, so that was kind of like one of the pictures I put up there.
I'll have to look later.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough, and Derek was there too. So it was cool to share this experience. We weren't in the same group, which was super fun because whenever he and I play, it's always together. So whenever we get to like split up, it's a little bit more fun.
Hmm.
Um, I was with Brendan from Duffin Up, and then Raul and Hector from Los Golferos. But a big group of us played Tierra Rajada in SoCal, which is on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, elevation was beautiful. I feel like or I shouldn't say every hole, because the one it was like hole two where I almost like pulled out and I couldn't even see the green. It was beautiful, and I saved par, so Derek didn't have to fire me. Um, but that course is gorgeous. I shouldn't say every, but a lot of the greens are elevated, so then you're hitting down, and I feel like my ball is flying. But when we played, it was super hard.
Yeah.
So I'd be
Yeah.
like, wow, hit that beautifully. And then it would hit and then just like bounce off the side of this mountain, essentially,
Yeah.
never to be seen again.
Hmm.
Um, that course is beautiful and it's surprisingly affordable for what it is.
Okay.
It was like $80 for the
Oh
round.
wow.
That
Yeah,
was
that
with
is good.
cart. I don't know if that was because we had so many people. There was like a group of like 16 of us.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't think it was 16, but it felt like 16. Um, Beautiful. That was with a cart. Um, yeah, one of the most fun rounds of my life, and a lot of it I was drinking because I'm with Hector and Raul. So every three holes we're like doing shots, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like how am I gonna do this? I'm surprised I didn't fall off the mountain like my golf balls did. Um, that one, and then I love the wilderness at Fortune Bay, up north in
Okay.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Um,
Okay.
so what they did was they instead of bulldozing everything because it's on a reservation, it's a casino course and it's owned and managed by the Ojibwe, I believe. Nobody come after me if I'm wrong. Um, but instead of bulldozing everything, they would like there's so after the first hole, the first hole fucks you up, and everybody's there like, dude, if you get a double, you're gonna have a good round because it's like a 550-yard par five for like the first hole.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it spits you up and chews you out real quick. The second hole, you're like going through the woods, you're going over natural rock that they could have taken out. It's gorgeous. And then we have one of the only private TPC courses in the country is here in Minnesota. And we get to play it with the media day with the 3M Open. So that course, I love TPC Twin Cities. It's super fun. We get to play it as they're building the course, so we get to see them build like the stadium seats and everything. And we
That's
don't get to
cool.
play from where the pros play,
Would
thankfully,
you want
because I
to?
don't on a couple holes, yeah, just to
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah.
Hole 17, yes, 17's a short par three. And where they have us play it, I can normally get on the green, but from where the pros play, you're hitting over water through all this crazy wind. I just want to try it.
Yeah.
There's no chance in hell that I make it, but that's one of the holes that I wish they're like, hey, hit it from where the pros play, see how close you get. Because they have prizes for if you outdrive the previous winner.
Hmm.
So, um, I don't remember who won last year. It's been a while, but we had to outdrive like Jonathan Vegas and stuff like that. So it was super fun. But that course, I wish it wasn't private because I would play it all the time. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And then obviously with Hazeltine, but not everybody who's ever played Hazeltine because that's like private. Like that's where they play the Ryder Cup and everything,
That's really cool. Yeah.
which is coming back. I don't know when, but it's coming back to Minnesota, and we're pretty pumped about it.
Yeah. Every 2 years, right?
Is it two or four?
I think it's two.
I'm thinking of the Olympics, aren't I? Olympics are
Yeah.
four.
Well, the World Cup's every four too, but yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to say I could care less about it, but I really don't care about the World Cup. I
Yeah.
didn't grow up playing soccer.
Yeah, I'm a big soccer fan, so I'm excited. But
So
yeah.
I got a message and they're like, Dom, did you know your MLS team just signed like one of the biggest soccer stars in the world? I'm like, who? Like,
MLS is the MLS, so yeah.
well, I know, but they signed like a stud apparently for the Loons,
Mhm.
and he's like 25 million followers on Instagram, and obviously he's not Messi, but like
Yeah.
sounds like a stud. So I'm like, cool. Next question. Um,
That's funny.
so we've been on for a while now, so I kind of want to go to bed. I got to eat still.
Yeah.
It's like 9:30. But walk us through like a perfect breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm out near Philly. I know we kind of talked about it. You're not in Philly, but say we're in Philly.
Okay.
One of the cities I've always wanted to go to. Can't stand the sports teams, which is
Uh,
fine. It's really just the Eagles. I don't mind the Flyers. Um, even though the Wild, we won't talk about it.
yeah.
Um, but to walk us through like a breakfast, lunch, dinner, like where would we go? Because whenever I go somewhere new, I want to try, like the big restaurants are fun, but it's
Hmm.
fun to find little holes in the wall. And that's the kind of stuff that I love and tend to remember most.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll work backwards. If we're going dinner, probably would I'm a big steak guy, so I would
Mm.
say either Del Frisco's Steakhouse in Philly or like Eddie V's are probably like my one two for steak. For lunch, I'd probably go. There's a place called Whiskey Village that does really good cheeseburgers in Philly,
Ooh.
and they like fry their French fries in duck fat, which is very good.
Ooh.
And then for breakfast, I might go brunch. There's a place in Conshohocken, PA, just outside of Philly, Southern Cross Kitchen, and they have a good chicken and waffle. So that's a pretty good brunch that
Ooh.
they do there. And then maybe for dessert, we can take a shot of Pepto or something because that's a pretty hearty meal. But that would probably be my top three.
it might be like blasphemous, but like I'm not a huge steak guy. Like if
Okay.
I go somewhere, I'm like I would much rather have like a burger. I'm one of those people where it's like I appreciate a good steak,
Hmm.
but like a cheeseburger has my heart. I
I do
I don't
like
know.
cheeseburgers, but I love steaks. Yeah.
Yeah, I like steak, don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But like if I have the choice and they're like, Dom, you could have a steak or a burger,
Yeah, I
I'm
think a
going burger.
cheeseburger would probably be my death row meal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you didn't say like a cheesesteak or anything because that's kind of what I was expecting. I know that's kind of the
Yeah.
stereotype though.
Yeah, I would say Delisandro's probably for a cheesesteak. And then there's
Okay.
a place I haven't had it. I think it's in South Philly called Angelo's Pizza, but apparently they do a really good cheesesteak. I haven't tried it though, but those would probably be my one too. Everyone says like Pat's and Geno's, but those are just kind of tourist traps.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of Minnesota is I don't really feel like we have any tourist traps when it comes to food because I'm like really known for food. Like
Hmm.
I guess I mean I live here. I don't even know if people are like, oh, you gotta go to Minnesota and get this food. Like, I
Yeah.
don't like I don't even know what that'd be. Like lutefisk. Like nobody wants lutefisk. Um yeah, I can't think of anything. Yeah, I
Any
don't know.
good? Yeah.
We there's a super good Ukrainian deli
Okay.
in Minneapolis, and I would die for that place. When they followed us on Instagram, I like shit a brick. I was like, there's no way. I think I messaged them. I'm like, guys, I love your guys' food. It's so good.
What do they have there? Like, what are they known for?
So it's a Ukrainian deli, and it's Kremarchek's. That's the name is Kremarchek's. They've been on like diners, drive-ins, and dives and everything, and it's so good. And even now, it still feels like a little hole in the wall.
Hmm.
Attached to the restaurant is like an actual deli to where like you could go buy like the sausages and everything. The cool thing is it's cafeteria style. So you get a tray, you walk around, you're like, oh, I want that, that, and that.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
it's super good. So when everybody flew out for the Minnesota event, a group of us went, and everyone's like, dude, like, what? Where are we? I'm like, trust me, like, listen to me, trust me on this. Um, they have the best Reuben I've ever had.
Okay.
Their corned beef sandwich is super good. They have a good mushroom soup. If you like mushrooms, they're very hearty.
Not at all.
Okay, we'll axe that. Their pierogies are
Oh,
really
I
good.
love
That's like
pierogies. Those are
the
good.
the pierogies are phenomenal.
Okay.
Um, and then they have like cabbage rolls that are really good. So good. And then to end it, they have like dessert cakes. Like they have a carrot cake. I swear to God, it's like that thick.
Oh my gosh.
And listen, I watched Ralph from Los Golferos take down the Reuben. He's like, Dom, that's phenomenal. That was not as white as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, no, they know how to season stuff here. And then he went back and got like the corned beef or pastrami sandwich. And each sandwich is like that thick.
Hmm.
Ate it all. He ate both. And then he goes back and gets the carrot cake. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. He goes, dude, this place is bomb. And I'm like, I told you, dude. And it's right downtown Minneapolis. It's like a little hole in the wall. It's like one of my favorite places. It's so good.
I'll have to look that up. Those are like the best places usually.
Oh, absolutely. It's so good. But thank you for
Yeah,
joining
thank
me in
you.
my ADD. We're looking forward to seeing the polos and everything else come out. Um, if you need any contacts, let me know. Be happy to connect you with Maddie or whoever, if it helps you, whatever. A lot of you said it best.
Hmm.
The golf community is very welcoming. I know it seems very scary because there are some really bad accounts that are like, just don't talk to them. But
Hmm.
there's a lot of really, really great people in this community that have helped myself and Derek and that we love to work with. We love Maddie. We love to work with the guys from Four Bros. John and Trev are like the dudes. They are super fun. They do great casual apparel. So if you ever need to pick anybody's brain, they'll shoot the shit with you. They're a little out there as people, and we're still recording because I want them to hear that, and they know they're out there as guys. But those two dudes, I know like they have my back and have their back.
Mhm.
Like they're phenomenal dudes. So if you have questions or need contacts, let me know, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely put feelers out for you. But thanks for joining me. Excited to see the future of Married to the Game, and I'm hoping it doesn't get too marriagey, just because there are people like me who like the direction you're going, and
Mhm.
I don't have that ring.
Yeah. No, we're definitely looking for products. I'll have to send a corduroy hat your way too.
I'm a sucker for corduroy hats, especially
Yeah.
cream. Like fuck, which way is it that way? I have a
Yeah.
type of hat, and it's cream corduroy. They're money, dude.
Yeah. I'll send you one.
I'll wear it. Trust me, I'll wear it.